What if dreaming could get you killed, and your unborn child turned into a weapon? In a future where pregnancy is illegal and prisons are ruled by machines, one man must fight against a brutal AI-run fortress to save his wife and unborn baby. This is the gripping story of Fortress 1992, a sci-fi thriller packed with action, rebellion, and the ultimate battle for family. So, without waste any time, let's jump into the main video. The movie begins with John Brennick, a former soldier, is traveling with his wife Karen. Karen is actually pregnant, but she conceals it by wearing a magnetic vest beneath her coat. She wants to travel far away and give birth to her second child. The vest helps her avoid being caught during security checks. While the soldiers go through everyone's belongings, they arrest another woman because she is pregnant. This makes Karen even more terrified. But fortunately, the magnetic vest keeps her from being caught. After they emerge, one soldier notices something unusual about Karen's vest. Several soldiers begin chasing them. To protect his wife and unborn child, John fights back and orders Karen to flee while he remains behind to fight the soldiers. John is apprehended and sent to Fortress Prison. This is the country's most technologically advanced prison, built in the middle of the desert. Escaping from here is nearly impossible. When John and the other prisoners arrive, the guards strip them naked and search them. Then each prisoner has a high-tech tracker implanted in their stomachs. If a prisoner violates prison rules, this device will activate and explode in their stomach. The prison director, Poe, informs all of the inmates that if they cross the yellow line, they will experience severe stomach pain. If you cross the red line, you'll die. One prisoner panics and accidentally crosses the yellow line. He collapses to the ground in pain. Then he crosses the red line and his stomach swells and explodes. Following that, all prisoners are transported by lift to the underground prison, which is located 30 floors below ground. John is put in a cell with a prisoner named Nino and a robot named ZD-10. Laser beams are placed outside the cells to prevent anyone from escaping. John meets two other prisoners, D-Day and Abraham. Abraham warns John not to dream, even if it is by mistake. At night, a robot named ZD-10 arrives to check. It scans John's brain and discovers his dream. John has dreams about his wife, Karen. Director Poe observes the dream from the monitoring room as well. As dreams are not permitted in the prison, Poe activates John's security device, and he awakens abruptly due to severe stomach pain. The next day, while performing labor, a prisoner named Maddox attempts to take advantage of Nino. John quickly intervenes to protect him. However, ZD-10 activates all three of their stomach devices to end the fight. Later, the three prisoners are placed in a small laser cell, and someone asks them how the fight began. Nino is scared of Maddox, so he remains silent. To protect his friend, John accepts the blame for the fight. Following that, guards lead John to Director Poe's office. Poe is watching Karen as she takes a shower. Karen has also been apprehended and brought to prison. Poe begins torturing John and Karen cruelly. They scream with pain. Later, Abraham informs John that women are kept on floors A and B, and Karen must also be there. Karen stays with another pregnant woman. When the woman experiences labor pain, the guards take her away forcibly. Karen realizes that all of the women here are pregnant, and something strange is happening to the babies after they are born. Back in the men's prison, Maddox attacks John. A brutal fight starts. Karen is shocked when she sees John from her floor. The fight is intense, but John unexpectedly pushes Maddox down from a height. Maddox manages to grab the edge and save himself. From his office, Poe orders John to murder Maddox. But John refuses, saving Maddox's life instead. Angered, Poe activates the device in Maddox's stomach, causing it to explode and kill him instantly. Before the guards arrive, John takes Maddox's security device and hands it to Nino. Karen is later led to a room where John is tied to a massive spinning machine. This place is known as the Mind Wipe Chamber. Poe sends Karen there to persuade John to obey him. But after a short while, the guards drag Karen out. The machine starts spinning quickly. John's brain begins to suffer damage. This is Poe's punishment for disobeying his orders. Old memories of John's training and marriage continue to flood his mind. After 3 days, Poe summons Karen to his office. He is surprised that John is still alive, given that most people die within an hour of using that machine. Po tells Karen that if she divorces John and agrees to be with him instead, he will release both John and her unborn child. Karen reluctantly agrees after considering her baby and husband. When John returns to his cell, he resembles the living dead. He does not speak to anyone. He just lies there, perfectly silent. He no longer feels pain. Karen begins living with Po. One night, she notices Po sitting on a chair connected to numerous wires. She discovers that Po has been transformed into an advanced human. He does not need to eat or sleep. Once a month, he connects the wires to obtain amino acids, which is all he requires to survive. The same thing happens to the babies born in the prison. After several surgeries, they are transformed into advanced humans who never experience hunger or thirst. The goal is to populate Earth with such people, free of basic human needs. Karen is shocked and terrified upon hearing this. For months pass. John's condition does not improve. Abraham informs him that Karen's belly is growing and that their baby will be born soon. A tear falls from John's eye as he remains emotionless. Karen flirts with Po that night, administers copious amounts of alcohol, and renders him unconscious. Karen uses the control panel to access John's dream. In his dream, young John is trapped in a deep pit. Karen pulls him out, and John regains consciousness in real life. Everyone is delighted to see John awake and healthy again. John asks Abraham for assistance in escaping the prison with Karen. Abraham agrees to take a risk. Karen is overjoyed to learn that John is doing well. Nino later gives John the security device that they had taken from Maddox's body. Their friend D-Day, who was a computer expert before being imprisoned, decides to examine the device closely. Meanwhile, Karen steals a shiny diamond-shaped object from Po's office. Just as she is about to be apprehended, she conceals it in her mouth. The next day, she gives it to Abraham and asks him to secretly deliver it to John. That diamond-shaped object contains a detailed map of the entire prison. They study the map and discover that they can escape via the construction site. The next morning, Abraham secretly returns the map to Po's office, hoping no one will notice. D-Day explains how the security devices work. Each device contains a powerful magnet. They decide to use this to get the devices out of their own bodies, and it works. Everyone removes their trackers. The next day, the robot ZED-10 informs Po that something suspicious is going on. Po watches the camera footage and sees Karen steal the lens and Abraham return it. He becomes furious. But before he can do anything, ZED-10 informs him that he has been removed from his position as director due to his carelessness. Meanwhile, John's team plans to flee. They attach all of their removed trackers to a pipe in the construction site and begin pretending to fight. When Zed detects the fight, he activates the trackers. However, instead of harming the prisoners, the trackers explode on the pipe, blowing it open and creating an escape route. Before they can escape, Po blows extremely hot air through the control room's pipes. High-tech robots also begin shooting at the prisoners. The group becomes trapped inside the pipe. One prisoner, Styx, panics and flees, but the robots shoot him down. On the other side, Abraham attempts to rescue Karen, but Po arrives and kills him. Karen is dragged away by guards to prepare her baby for advanced human development. John's team successfully destroys one of the robots. Then they realize it's not a robot, but an advanced human. John grabs the gun and fights his way back to prison. Finally, they reach a lift and ascend. They search Po's office for Karen. John sees a screen where doctors are attempting to forcefully remove the baby from Karen's body. John yells at Po to stop the operation. But Po is no longer the director, so no one listens to him. Just then, a robot recognizes them and attacks. The prisoners dodge, but the robot's bullets strike Po instead, killing him. D-Day tries to stop the doctors with the control panel, but he is shot by a soldier. John exacts revenge for D-Day's death. With his last strength, D-Day turns off the prison's entire power system. The operation comes to a stop. The security system switches off. All of the prisoners take advantage of this opportunity to escape. Now only John and Nino remain. They save Karen and trying to escape by a prison truck. After crossing the border into Mexico, they finally come to a stop. Karen is about to give birth, but the truck suddenly begins to move on its own. It turns out that the prison still controls it remotely. The truck runs over Nino, killing him. John steps outside to fight, while Karen is in pain inside a small hut. John blows up the truck, but it collides with the hut. Karen becomes trapped under the debris. John panics and looks for his wife. Then, thankfully, Karen emerges safely, holding a sweet baby in her arms. Finally, John and Karen succeed in saving their child. This movie ends in here. If you like the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.